And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, an edition here of the WardiTV Monday, week number 45. Your weekly dose of WardiTV action. It has been far too long. It has been a week since last week. We did, of course, skip the WardiTV Monday as there was a EWC ongoing, but now we're here. Now we are back. EWC has concluded. Fusion Esports League has concluded, and now we have returned with the beginning of the off season. Here we go. The off season has begun, and we are jumping into our fresh best of 3. And this morning, in the bottom head corner of Tokamak, we have the American Terran player, the Blue Terran. It is MedicJr. And this morning, in the top right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, and the red Protoss player himself. Oh, it for representing Shaw Rebellion. It is Harstem from the Netherlands. And of course, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our initial round of 16 match. Here we go. Again, exclamation mark, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. The bracket is alive, the bracket is stacked. Of course, there are some players missing, but a lot of players are still traveling home from Riyadh or resting from their travels, or even traveling to Poland. As a reminder, Rainer, Lambo, and Clem all did travel straight to Poland after Riyadh, and they're still there, I believe, of course, as they did compete in the Fusion Esports League before going back home after their competition, after their tournament. So again, it's been a very intense week of StarCraft. The intensity has, in a way, concluded. Now we can calm things down and embrace our regular weekly tournaments. There's still a lot to catch up on, of course. We have the WardiTV Mondays, we have the StarCraft Tunic Cups, we have the MedicJr Mondays, or the MedicJr Cups, I should say. You have StarCraft the Evolution League, alongside the Thermal 2v2 tournaments, or 2v2 circuit, I should say, and many, many other events. So there's still a lot ongoing, a lot of StarCraft to indulge in. And this is the beginning of that off season. Let's go. StarCraft every day here, Papi. As always. Let's go. This is time being, we are going to be settling in. We have our double gas opener out of MedicJr going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC. Meanwhile, we do have Harstem going for a standard opener himself. Does skirt around the edge with this probe in a very interesting manner, but it looks like, okay, never mind. It's just coming in for a scout. Is going to be avoiding the Reaper scout of MedicJr's to keep the probe alive, to come in and to get a read on what's going on, to get an idea of the opener, to get an idea of the timings of the factory of the CC. And he will come in and it will scout the commands that are being thrown down just now. So now he knows that it is going to be a delayed CC. He is aware of said opener. And likewise, we'll zone away the Reaper back at home. We have a continued Reaper Hellion production from our opponents. Probe is going to be shut down, but Harstem got the information that he wanted. And with Reaper Hellion, we can now gain access. So now we can now be aggressive. We can now gain map control. We can now look to try to get some damage across the map. Oh, just catching up in the chat. Happy Monday. Oh, happy Monday, papi. Happy Monday. Yeah. Bienvenidos, papi. Bienvenidos. Originally, I was going to be covering Gumiho versus Ragnar into Bjorn. Honestly, I feel like that's going to be a really spicy series, and it leads into potentially Hero as well. But Wardi, I believe, is going to be covering that series. Is going to be covering that best of 3. So we did find another match to jump into instead. We will eventually join forces. We will eventually come together as one, and I think we're probably going to meet up at some point in the lower half of the brackets. But for the time being, we're trying to spread out, trying to cover as much ground as we can, and we'll see what MedicJr has to offer here as he throws down extra axes. Okay, setting up for a 3-1-1. Wouldn't mind dropping initially here. We're still waiting for the tech lab, still waiting for the tech of choice here, going into tank production, going into a Banshee follow-up. For the meantime as well, Reaper Hellion doesn't move out, is here in the center, and Harstem, he can fight this, he can push this back. Oh, does step forward, does not get the Reaper, just barely not. MedicJr does turn back, does pull away. And here's the initial drop. This drop is fanning out here towards the mineral lines. Likewise, Blink is almost done, or is on the way. We have our 3-gate setup, so a very safe setup here. 3 gateways into a 3rd base. A very safe setup here out of Harstem. Not as safe as going for a Robo on 2 bases, for example, but still is quite secure nonetheless. And it's up to MedicJr to determine what exactly is going on. He is going into his own tank production, so tanks are on the way. No tech lab on the maxes yet. Mind Drop making its way in. And Harstem, he does scout this ahead of time. Yeah, he reacts, he responds. Blink is not yet. Oh no, Blink isn't done, but despite that, massive shots going off, and the medevac does go down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, some brutal missteps there from MedicJr. He did just fly too close to the sun. He got to shut down. He will lose his Reaper Hellion. He will lose his medevac. Everything is on fire here. Everything goes down. Oh no, not like this. Not like this, as we do see MedicJr now going into the main base, but Last has lost everything already, and once again Harstem is able to react in time, is able to warp in, able to shut down that initial Liberator, already taking a lot of damage. No, he's queued in! No! He's queued in, so it's gonna go down. Yeah, it's gonna go down. Ay, ay, ay. Again, unfortunately, MedicJr a little bit inattentive to his army, inattentive to his units. And I'm afraid to look. Oh, the efficiency here. Losing 2 pros, we're getting 2 Widowmines, a medevac, Hellions, the Reapers, the Liberator as well. Everything just going wrong here in a matter of moments for MedicJr. And it's looking a little bit rough here. Oh, it is looking rough. And with this MedicJr, he's going to be pinned down. He's going to be contained on 2 bases. Now, he will have the option to go for a 2-base all-in. Do you see what I see? I see 2 Raxes. I see 2 more Raxes. That's going to be 5 in total. No add-ons on these Raxes either, which means MedicJr, he's going to wait for Stim. He's going to build up his tank count, and he will have the option to pull the boys. I say that he's actually stopping at 2 tanks. He's stopping at 2 tanks here, going for the reactor on the factory instead. He still has the option to commit to the all-in, and I feel like he should probably take that option, especially after all those losses. But I mean, technically he still can go for a 3rd TC. Oh no! But the tank is going to go down to 1 tank. Yeah, 1 tank left. Bunker pulls as well. And MedicJr, he is in a rough position here. Now he's losing the backbone of his army down to 1 singular tank. Sure, he's going to have Stim and combat shields, but there we go. Yeah, we pull the boys. Again, as you saw, the 5 Raxes, it makes sense here to go for the all-in. Unfortunately, Harstem does see this ahead of time. Harstem already sees this. He does come in from behind to catch any stragglers, to catch any reinforcements, to even force the army back home. Speaking of, yeah, he does find those reinforcements. Gets 1, gets 2 Marauders. Will lose 1 Stalker in the process, but should be able to clean everything up, losing a 2nd Stalker. And it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing here as production is being camped. What you see is what you get. Harstem, he can always recall. He can always recall back home if need be. Storm is done. No, Storm is complete. He scans. He sees a High Templar. Oh, God. It's going to be difficult to avoid the storms. I don't see this working, unfortunately. It's just hitting a little bit too little too late, especially with only 1 tank. Oh, 1 storm does land, takes down the SCVs, tank falls as well. GG gets called, and Harstem, he will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played, Harstem. He'll take a lead in the series. Unfortunately, just a really, really rough game there for MedicJr. Everything falling apart, everything falling by the wayside when it came to the harassment, when it came to the aggression. The problem here with losing your medevac, with losing your Liberator, with losing your map presence in such a way is that you relinquish map control very quickly, and it allows your opponent to move out across the map and to gain that map control, right, and to contain you. There's no reason to keep any Stalkers at home to defend against a Widowmine, sorry, to defend against a medevac that's right outside the bases, to defend against a Liberator that's sieged outside the bases as well, that can at any moment go back in. Even if you're not killing anything, even if you're not doing any damage, if you keep those units alive, you can always force supply to be kept back at home, force attention for your opponent to be kept back at home, while you can build up and settle into your own 2-base all-in. Likewise, unfortunately, Harstem was able to slow it down ahead of time. I'm referring to the moment when Harstem killed the 1st tank. Also really brutal. Like when you're going for that kind of all-in, your tanks are so precious, they're so crucial, they're so important when it comes to actually having any kind of backbone or strength to that army as well. So unfortunate that the tanks were going down ahead of time, and also unfortunate that Harstem, he saw the move outs from the beginning, right? He was able to spot the all-in, saw the boys being pulled, and of course get ready back at home. So yeah, solid game there out of Harstem, and we'll see if MedicJr can bring it back as we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Game 2 is going to be on Incorporeal, and this is going to be one of the other larger maps in the map pool, I will say that, but there's always potential, especially in these larger maps, to go for some cheeky openers, to go for some proxies, to hide some production, and maybe to go for something a little bit different. Let's go. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the American Terran player. We have the blue Terran down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. It is MedicJr. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself from the land of the Netherlands, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Harstem. Hello. As the SV does move out across the map, we'll be skirting around the right-hand side. We'll avoid the main probe scout pattern if there were to be one. And I would imagine we're going to be going in for an eBay block on the low ground. I was assuming we were going to deviate from here and go straight for the mineral line or go straight for the base, but no, we're going for the proxy racks. Not just one, second SCV. Here we go. We have two SCVs moving out. We're going for the proxy 2 racks. Gas is being taken back at home. Let's go. Now with 2, I would imagine from here we can go for add-ons. We can go into Tech Labs, or we can just go 2 racks Reaper. We can try to set up a bunker. Interesting location for the gateway here on the low ground. Very interesting. Not something that I'm used to seeing, to be honest. Typically, we see players, I mean, I was going to say a wall off the main base, but true, there is no Reaper cliff into the main, so you can be a little bit more free with the placement of your buildings, is setting up here on the low ground instead. Does go for the gate cyber expand. A bit of a safer start here for Harstem. Not uncommon to go gate expand instead, so it's being much safer here. Yeah, but there it is. It is going to be proxy Marauder. So Tech Labs are on the way. Marauder's going to be on the horizon. Going proxy Marauder. And Harstem, he probe scouts. He sees, hold up, he sees 1 gas. He sees no racks back at home. He knows something is wrong, something is amiss. Oh, he's checking. Yeah, he does see the SCV. And Harstem, he will check, he will confirm the more common proxy location. He does confirm both Tech Labs. Okay. Now, on the one hand, I do want to say that because of his production setup, he has to defend, he has to fight for the natural. Ideally, against this, you can fight in the main, right? You can try to abandon your natural and take a stand at the main base instead of the main ramp. But again, because of this setup, he has to fight for the low ground instead. So already, this is working a little bit more in MedicJr's favor. Shield battery is halfway done. From here, we're probably going to have to pull a couple of boys to help buffer. Second shield battery's on the way. And we're going to want another pylon as well, as that pylon's quite exposed, powering the shield batteries at least. See what it goes for. But now, yeah, just focuses down the Marauders. Oh, the first one almost goes down. And so far, so good. Harstem, there's the NG overcharge. He will focus on the first Marauder. He gets one, he gets both SCVs. And this is already falling apart. This is already falling apart here for MedicJr. Again, he's down to 3 Marauders, but some of them are so very low. There we go. More shield batteries on the way. I wouldn't be opposed to it yet, though. I was going to say, I wouldn't be opposed to just pulling the boys at this point. Another Marauder goes down. Oof. Yeah, losing 2 Marauders already. Wait, okay. We're losing almost a third. Losing a 3rd Marauder as well. Bleed out 1 Stalker. 1 Stalker goes down, and the boys, they feel late. They feel late, to be honest. Ideally, you want to be able to surround this and then shut this down ahead of time. We're down to 4 Marauders. Getting up to 5. There we go from here, diving on in. The probes are being pulled. 1 Stalker does get caught out. Yeah, 1 Stalker gets caught, so the boys, they do take down 1 of the Marauders. Let's go. They do catch 1. There's 2 Stalkers left. More boys being pulled. And the probes are here to tank. They're here to buffer. They will. GG gets called as we do see MedicJrr running out of steam. And Harstem, he will shut down the cheese. He will shut down the all-in. And Harstem does take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Unfortunately, MedicJrr, he bled out 3-4 Marauders ahead of time. He was losing far too much, far too quickly. Ideally, you want to preserve them, build them up for your boys to arrive, so then you have some kind of buffer. You have some kind of, so I should say, some kind of army behind the buffer. But he only was down to, what, 4 or 5 Marauders towards the end there by the time the boys had arrived. Again, he just bled out too much too quickly, and unfortunately, Harstem, he also scattered ahead of time as well, right? He recognized something was wrong, he checked the proxy location, he found that ahead of time, so he was able to have that time to react, to respond, and to throw down those shield batteries to set up on the low ground the way that he did, and yeah, to respond in such a manner. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Harstem. He'll claim the series, and let's catch up with the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are.